Yeah, fellas, welcome to the show. My name is Player Supreme, and I am the world's best player coach. Again, I am not a dating coach. That's why I don't fit into the online niche of daters. I teach player skills. I teach men how to become players of women, how to control their women, how to dominate their women, and how to build a team of women dedicated to serving them. Today, I'm going to talk about sexual control of women, basically starting with domination in the bedroom. And there are three key areas I'm going to talk about in this presentation. The first area is physical control of your women in the bedroom. That means you have to learn how to control her orgasm. That means you have to learn how to give her powerful orgasms. There are two key areas I want you to focus on. There are more than that to pleasing women, but the two key areas I want you to focus on is her clitoris and her G-spot. You learn to master those, you will give her orgasms like nobody has ever done before. 99% of men out there do not focus on these two areas. You want to learn to physically manipulate her clitoris with your fingers. In order to do that, you need to lube up your middle finger. I'm right-handed, so it's my left hand that I use. Again, I'm right-handed, so it's my left hand that I use. Okay? It's the more sensitive side. I put lube on that, and I put my middle finger on her clit, and I begin to stroke it gently. Then I ask her, do you like it harder? Do you want it harder or faster? You want to learn to find out how she likes her clitoris stroked. Okay? You learn to master that and give her orgasms. You will be able to do it with your penis inside of her as well. That's your ultimate goal, is to be able to give her massive orgasms while you're having sex. But you got to learn by laying beside her. What I did was I laid on a woman's left side, put my right arm under her head so I could talk to her and kiss her. Then I reached my left finger down there, lubed it up, and started stroking her clit while I was talking and kissing. It's important that you speak. It's important that you also give intimacy so she can close her eyes and focus on her fantasy. If you've done everything I've taught you as a player, you've already gotten her life story. You've already gotten her fantasies. If you're new to my channel, go back and watch some of my other videos. Look for my animal color water game so you can segue to talks of sex and how to get her fantasies out of her. Okay? So you're laying beside her, you're fingering the clit, and it may take a while, or it may take a couple of times before you get her off. But you must learn that skill. Once you're able to get her off easily with your finger, then you want to start practicing getting her off with your penis inside. Learn to control those two areas, and you will develop physical control over it. Now, the second area in this under physical control is the G-spot. The G-spot is right inside the vagina at the top. If you put your fingers inside of her vagina, I like to use my middle finger and my ring finger because they have broad pads. Put it up at the roof, you'll feel some like rib skin up there, right inside the vagina. If you're practicing oral sex, you can lick the clit and also stroke the G-spot in a come here fashion. Your fingers move like, come here, come here. Okay? Be careful of applying too much pressure. This can create what's called a squirting orgasm also, where she squirts. Just a gentle stroking of it should be enough with your mouth on the clit if you're doing oral sex. If not, then you want to use your penis and back it out. Now you know where it is, so just aim your penis at that. You can get that by putting pillows under her hips so her pelvic is tilted upwards. And your penis is below her, so it goes in at an angle and it just strikes the G-spot. It doesn't require a 10-inch dick or penis, okay? For you guys who are smaller, this is perfect for you. You can master this and give her mind-blowing orgasms, especially if you're stroking the clit at the same time. Those two together will produce a knockout orgasm where she almost passes out. Before you can learn to physically control her, you also want to learn to control yourself. Because if you start busting nuts without any control, you'll never be able to master her. Okay? I'm going to give you some information where you get some help on that at the end of this presentation. So now that you got physical control, we go on to mental control. And that's where you learn to what I coined, or what was coined to me, because I was doing it to a girl, as mind fucking. That's where you got to get your verbal rap, your verbal game up. Back when I was 27, 28, I wanted to learn to talk to women in bed. I don't want to sound like a porn guy. Never ever take your words from a porn. That's the worst thing you can do. Okay? That's why you want to get her life story. You want to figure her out so you know what kind of words to use on her in bed that will sink into her mind. So you want to learn to mind fuck her. Get your mouth moving during sex. You're going to feel stupid at first. I felt stupid. I felt awkward. I continued. When I was 33 years of age, this woman said I mind fucked her. In that time period, I'd grown. You got to learn to relax in bed and allow your inner self to come out and talk. That base man self. Some of you guys are cheap and superficial. You want to clean some of your cheapness up, your superficiality up. Who you are inside is going to come out. So if you're cheap and superficial and you want to spit down her throat and slap her and stuff like that, I'm not the man to talk to about that. That's not my path, okay? And that's not most women's path either, unless she has something wrong with her inside, where she wants to be degraded. She likes degradation. That's very few women out there, by the way. So if you're doing that kind of stuff, all you're doing is killing your game. I suggest you fix whatever's wrong with you inside that makes you enjoy that spitting and slapping and all that nonsense, so that you can come to the bedroom as a healed, healthy male. So part of the mental controls I'm talking about is learning to control your mind. You control the mind, you control the vagina. You control the mind, you control the pussy. Okay? Mind fucking in bed, when you talk to her, as I teach in one of my books, at the moment of her orgasms, her subconscious mind is wide open. If you do everything I've taught you to do, her subconscious mind will be wide open for programming. All you got to do is say, this is mine. This is my house. No other man may enter my house. That will cause her to mentally bond to you. That will cause her to mentally bond to you, fellas. Think about that. She's having an orgasm. You do one other thing, and you want her to open her eyes and look at you while she's having an orgasm. And then you deliver whatever phrases you want programmed into her mind. And they will sink right in. So once you learn your mental control, as I'm giving you guys a brief synopsis of this, you want to go on to emotional control. Emotional control. And that's where you're working with a woman's emotions. Few guys go to that level. In my life, emotions are very powerful. I've gotten to states of where I time our orgasm together, and that's very powerful. When you time the orgasm together, you're doing the physical thing and you're doing the mental thing. Then you add emotions into it. Both of you will reach tears together. Tears. I've had that happen numerous times with myself. Grown-ass man, so connected to a woman, emotionally, physically, mentally, that it was an emotional release. Few of you guys have the mental makeup to get there because you're in those lower levels. But I urge you to learn to develop some type of empathy with the women that you go to bed with. Because when you start to control her emotions, that cements your power in her mind. You get her to feel emotional in bed. And part of that to help with that is you want to learn to use music. I put up an assignment. I haven't gotten any feedback on that assignment yet. So in another video, I'm going to teach you and give you correction and education on that particular assignment. I'm going to break it down for you. But I want you guys to answer those questions first. At least put an attempt to it. And then I'll go through and I'll break down the words and songs. Music produces emotional effects in women. That's why it's a powerful tool. Your words can produce emotions too, but emotions also produced by emotional responses. That's why I love to kiss. Kissing creates a connection. It creates emotion. When you kiss a woman, there are hormones that go off in her mind, in her body, and she gets emotional releases from that. I learned to manipulate those in my life. You want to be able to time your orgasm together. Then you want to give her some type of emotion. When she starts to cry or have a strong, powerful emotional effect, then you know you've reached it. I had one woman say she couldn't see me anymore. I gave her the complete three-step treatment and reaching for the fourth. On that was our second time having sex. And she said it was too powerful, it was too much. And then she explained to me that she actually had a boyfriend, and her boyfriend was practicing something where he could lay his hands on her, make her orgasms, something like that. You've probably seen videos. And she said she couldn't handle it. Now I later found out that this woman was also had a webcam business. She had girls coming over, and I didn't realize she was a quiet mouse in my acting class. That's where I met her. I mean, I thought she was sweet and cute. She was half white, half Mexican, pretty, demure, and then she was into all this stuff. So she couldn't handle the emotions because she was living her life unemotionally, unattached. And I pulled those emotions out of her, and it was too strong, and she didn't want to have sex with me anymore. She cried, and that was too much for her. That's power. But when you do all these three things right, you get to the fourth level, which is spiritual. When you do these things right, you're orgasming exactly at the same time. That takes skill. You got to learn to master your orgasms. That way you know when to release, how to release, and all that. So, and you know when she's going to release. See, I learned to hold my orgasm. And that's some of the control that I teach in one of my products. How to hold it right on the edge. It takes mental control and physical control. You control your mind, you'll control your body. It takes a lot of practice and a lot of skill, but you can do it. Imagine holding your orgasm, waiting for her, and you're talking to her. You can feel her getting ready to have that orgasm. Part of the physical control is you want to learn to tap into her body to be able to feel when she's going to have an orgasm. So you're right there. She's getting ready to blow, and then you blow at the same time. That is one of the most powerful things you can ever do. That was one of my secrets to why I got women to become addicted to sex with me. Orgasming together. When you do all three of them, now this is just me, you reach a certain mental, spiritual level that you can feel the presence of spirituality, God, per se. Now, sex is one of the most creative, spiritual things you can actually do. Because sex, the way it's supposed to be, is to create life. Creating life. He said, be fruitful and multiply, like the cattle in the fields. Out of the equation and just look at the universal life force. His energy, call it his energy. What does it want to do? It wants to create more life. So you're tapping into the universal life force, the creation of life. Touching an energy in a level that few people will ever touch in their lives. You learn to master that and ride it spiritually, and she is yours. Any one of these 3 steps will cause a bonding of her and an addiction. Each one becomes more and more powerful and deeper. I urge you to learn these skills. And if you need help, I do have 2 books out that you can learn this from. How to Make a Woman Come. That's where I teach you all things I've learned about making a woman come. Those two spots. How to achieve penis control if you guys can't stop yourself from coming, and a ton of other stuff. In Female Mind Seduction, I teach you how to mind fuck. All the stuff that I learned on mind fucking as it was coined to me. So I urge you to get those 2 books and add them to your repertoire for you players. Are tired of female Macedonian domination. And the world is going to hell, fellas. I just heard a new word. And it was called he emotionals. And there was also another word that was associated with that. Basically, men are becoming he feminized. Women are starting to dominate. And we've got to take our power back as men. The survival of our species depends on it. We've got to learn to get our power back as men and learn to be leaders and rulers. Otherwise, you will be simps. Just go watch a show of Maury Povich. Or go watch a show of Cheaters. You'll see the end result of what weak males becoming cuckolded, women cheating on them, going to other men for what they're not getting from you. I say bring the power back home to us, men, fellas. Thank you for your time. You guys have a good day.